What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast right here, coming to you live from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru Studio, a.k.a. Chop Studios in Mattawanna, New Jersey. Dave Sturchio alongside Tommy Dee, Tommy T on assignment, possibly landing us a new venue for 2026, so go get him, Tommy. And, of course, Chris Payne is either got Mickey in a headlock or...
Listen, I wore this for Payne
What
today.
is that, R2-D2?
I wore this for Payne today.
All right. Well, yeah. So Payne is on a family vacation in Disney World. Be sure to go find him. He's the tall one who probably looks disgruntled from all the lines and just pissed off at everything. No, it was funny when he sent you that. When he sent us that group photo of everybody smiling, I was like, "Wow, was he possessed? Like, something's
That's
happening."
why I said she must have crushed Xanax and put it in your coffee like they did on Entourage.
Right, exactly. Oh my God, I could go on and on about that. But anyway, we want to let you guys know we're being brought to you in part by the Stand Comedy Club in New York, New York. Go check those guys out. Very good friends of ours now. They have loaded shows each and every night. If you're a comedy fan, stand-up comedy fan, I know I am. I do a podcast with one of the best stand-up comedians, I think, out there, Brett Ernst. So we do the Jersey Boys podcast where you can talk all things Dallas Cowboys in case you want to hate on that. But, of course, go check out The Stand. Good friends of ours and great people over there. Plus, they have a studio down the street that me and Payne and Tommy Tequila got to walk around, and it's beautiful. So if you're looking for a recording studio and you're in Manhattan, go there. If you're looking for a recording studio and you're in Mattawanna or the surrounding areas, come on here. Savvy Seats, our friends over at Savvy Seats just actually tagged us in a Chris Brown concert post, so I did not share that.
Chris Brown's got the industry in a chokehold, apparently.
I'm sorry, who's on the what choke?
Chris Brown, he's got the industry in a chokehold, apparently.
Well, he's another one. But hey, if he unalived the next day, would we talk about that or his legacy as a singer?
You know what? I guess I shouldn't make that joke because everybody deserves forgiveness, right?
Exactly. Speaking of forgiveness, did you do your homework?
I did.
Okay, the homework assignment last night, and I told Tommy to do this in a gummy-induced rant because I was gummied up, but I watched it and I loved it. TMZ, who is notoriously known for just exposing the bad in people and, creeping on people and, fucking celebrities in their bikinis and all this other shit. They're just notoriously just jerk
But everybody
offs.
always seems to love them, so
I personally don't. I learned about TMZ from Entourage in that episode where he's like, and the all eyes knowing of TMZ. But anyway, so TMZ puts out the Real Hulk Hogan documentary last night. It was about an hour long. There's a few takeaways that I have from it, but first and foremost, I got to say, bravo. It was not a slander piece. It was strictly like, okay, man, everybody needs to know about what this dude was all about. They interviewed some great people. And, of course, you're going to get your naysayers. Mark Henry was on there being pretty pissed off, as rightfully so. Brooke Hogan was on there. She was, whatever with Brooke Hogan. But the one thing that stood out to me was the first public appearance and address of Vince McMahon.
Thank God. First of all, thank God he doesn't have the mustache and the dyed black hair. Maybe he was dressing as Gomez Adams for a while.
I don't know, but it was hard to look at him like that.
I mean, look, he's got to be 80.
Yeah, I know, but all right, 80 years old. The problem is he's had so much work done that has failed or is failing in real time. It's a sight, man. It's very scary. He looks, and again, I don't wish this on anybody, specifically Vince McMahon. I don't care what you say about his past and how ridiculous he was, but he looks like tomorrow that same person can be at a wake. He looked like he was made up by a mortician.
And honestly, I wouldn't know.
Sad.
I wouldn't know about him doing that interview. It's like when he sat there, he's like, Hulk Hogan was not a racist. He just said racist things. It's like you just contradicted yourself, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny Mac.
You just contradicted yourself.
You're trying to toe that line, and then you go whoop, and you start jumping over it. You can't say shit like that. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, just like when his documentary on Netflix, when he's like, "Oh, if I told you the real stories, holy shit!" Like.
What are we doing? I think that Vince was very. There was a couple things that stood out to me. That he was upset that he couldn't be there for the 10 bell salute. That he wasn't really invited back. Now, look, how, in your opinion, just based off of everything you've read, and you read the internet more than anybody else I know as far as wrestling is concerned. how like is Vince out like to the point where they don't even want to say his name? Because look, in some of those clips, like in all their WWE's tribute videos, Vince was in there. You know what I mean? So they're not completely pretending as if the dude doesn't exist.
They didn't give him the Benoit treatment, but they're not going to bring him up constantly. And as you're seeing with Brock coming back, of course, you're getting that backlash because of the first of all, and I'm going to say it again, it's a civil lawsuit. It's a civil lawsuit. She's suing because she didn't get $3 million for keeping her mouth shut that she was sucking a 74-year-old man's balls.
All right.
Okay.
It's a kids program, Tommy.
You know, like...
Yeah, I get it.
Who knows what he did? Who knows what the real stories are? Is he personally a great guy? Probably not. But what he's done for the business and the wrestlers in the business is the reason why they all keep coming back.
I feel like we say that about everybody who's like either passed on lately or is, you know, one foot in the grave.
You're not going to see me, you know, give a Hall of Fame speech for a guy like Ole Anderson. Like, that was a real racist. Like, everybody knew he was a racist.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's nice to see, like, Mick Foley was on there, and everybody knew that, you know, Mick Foley and Hulk kind of had a thing with each other.
I'm glad they brought up the whole reconciliation, too.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool.
He reconciled with a lot of guys, like, over the years, like him and Piper. They actually did become friends because Piper even admitted it on his podcast when he had one, that him and Hogan had become friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody disputed that him and Macho Man had a friendly conversation in a doctor's office, you know, shortly before Macho Man passed away. People get older. They make amends. Did he make amends with Jesse Ventura? No, he didn't make amends with Jesse Ventura, but Jesse Ventura is just as hard-headed as everybody else.
Right.
And I love Jesse. I wanted him to run for president. I would have voted for him a million times.
Now, would you have voted for him just simply because he's Jesse the Body Ventura?
No, he's a smart dude. I mean, he's a little out there, but he's a smart dude, and he actually gives a shit about people.
Everybody's out there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
You know, but I think TMZ did a good job with it. And honestly, they do a lot of good job like with these documentaries that they do. Like, they covered the whole Diddy thing. Like,
yeah,
it's all on Tubi.
Yeah,
that's where I was watching it. So I think it's starting to get less and less of the, excuse me, tabloid-ish.
Got it.
Stuff.
Well, good, because it got to the point where I stopped watching it because that's what it was. That's all it was. It was like, we got Justin Timberlake coming out of the street, flipped us off, and we were like, fuck you, man. And then, like, all of a sudden you're like, but that's JT, bro. Like, leave him alone. And like Bieber and all these other guys. It's crazy. But
listen, the wrestling world they're hurting.
It's
right now.
Yeah. And now that you've seen Vince out there, he said his piece. He said what he wanted to say. He got emotional about it. I believe he was doing his interview from his new company's headquarters. I don't know what it's called, 14th and 1st or something like that, which I believe...
It's a media company.
It's a media company, but I believe it's named after where the original... his original Titan Towers was, like the street name.
Okay.
So I think that's where it comes from or something to that effect. Don't quote me on that because... Just don't. Yeah, so that comes and goes. Now, Bully Ray on Busted Open brought up a decent point. Now, obviously, Vince McMahon was not there for the 10-bell salute. We all wish, he wishes he was there. Probably some of the boys, some of the stars wish he was there, too.
You know what? If he came out, I think the fans would have cheered for him because they sure as hell did after SmackDown, that first night that he came out there.
Yeah, you're right. And so now my question is this. John Cena has been on this tour now. We're rounding it out. We're in the middle of August. He's out of here in December. Bully Ray says that John Cena's last match and appearance will probably happen somehow if they're going to schedule it the right way in Boston in December. Make it make sense. Yes.
Survivor Series.
No, Survivor Series is in...
No, I'm asking where Survivor Series
Survivor Series is in where the Padres play baseball. They're doing it at a stadium there.
They're doing it in that stadium. Okay.
But no, it won't be Survivor Series. That's November. So December, there's going to be some kind of last match, John Cena, December, Boston. Does Vince get the invite to that? The reason why John Cena is because of Vince McMahon. There's no denying that. In fact, you want to go further, the reason why John Cena is because of Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, on the
You
bus.
know what I mean? So like,
Yep.
and Stephanie's still fully involved. So would that invite get lost in the mail somewhere, or like would he actually get
the invite
invited?
to get lost in the mail. I think it's a TKO call. And
TKO's in the news again. It's just like
I think it's a.
I think they're out of debt, by the way. At this point, I think it's over. I think the debt is over.
Yeah,
yeah. With that news,
that's an Endeavor TKO. You know, that's going to be their call. If Vince is there, look, if he's there,
Bully
great.
Ray thinks that Vince would get a nice warm reception.
I think so too.
I think so too.
Like, and everybody sits there. Oh, Hogan was booed. Your timeline is messed up.
Well, and that's another thing.
Hogan got booed because he was at the Republican National Convention.
And then he made an appearance in California, the bluest state in the country.
Because after the whole, racist rant that he went on years later, when they brought him back for WrestleManias, and he had a huge reception.
Wait, so was the WrestleMania where he screwed up the venue? Was that after?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And then he came back again after that.
Yeah.
So this
and he
is all about
hosted with Titus O'Neil.
Yeah. So yes.
So
it's all whatever. I'm just curious to know if they really want to go that route because again, you're skating on. I think everything was like all bets are off when Brock came back. As soon as Brock made his appearance on television, you're like, okay, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, it's that, but he's also not really named in the lawsuit. She supposedly sent him a picture of her peeing.
Okay.
The rumor was that Vince was going to say, Brock Lesnar is not going to hop on a plane to go to an office carousel when he has his wife Sable at home. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can name anybody in a lawsuit. I could sue somebody and name you as a participant.
Fucking hell, you will.
You know what I mean? Like
I've never been sued before.
You know what I mean? Like anybody can do that. Brock coming back, I really don't think it's that big of a deal because the place went nuts.
And it's the most viewed. It's their pinned tweet on Twitter, by the way. Is his return, so they know what they're doing. And when that match happens, we don't know. Maybe it is saved for his last match in December. Who fucking knows? But all I know is I'm curious to see how the Cena thing plays out. But moreover, the Vince McMahon thing plays out. Now that he's back in the public image, one, fire your makeup artist. Two, to figure out a way to look. You can't turn back time. You're not Benjamin Button. Only Moff looks younger as he gets older.
I can.
Huh?
I can turn back time.
You can turn back time? How do you do that?
I can find a way.
Oh, you can find a way?
I'm about to start singing Cher.
Okay. Anyway, so before we get into anything from Raw or anything they're starting to build over there, we do want to inform you guys that as of right now, the recording that's happening at 3:45 on a Wednesday, we only have 10 front row tickets left for the our next event at the Starland Ballroom. No thanks given. Very excited about that. We've already announced, obviously, Mike Santana of TNA. We've announced Joey Janela. And I guess we can announce this now because we're going to announce it on socials later. But we're bringing back our women's champion. Lady Frost will be in action. Her opponent to be named at a later date. If you were at War on the Shore, do the fucking math. So that's all I'll say about that. And if you're at War on the Shore and you're wondering, gee, who's Joey going to go get? Do the fucking math. We're trying to build something here, folks. So those three are our first announcements. We got a lot cool things in store. The Open Weight Championship will be on the line. The Women's Championship, like we just said. The Premier Championship. And then we will also crown our very first tag team champions. Payne sent us a photo of the belt yesterday. Mwah. Looks we got the best belts in the business. I'm sorry. Like there's nobody. I'm sorry. Congratulations for all your efforts out there, but you don't have as good as belts as we do. They're just so fucking awesome.
Honestly, we struck gold with Payne being the
psychopath that he is. Yeah,
you
he's an absolute nut job when it comes to all that stuff. So, and in the best way possible. So that's good. So yes, we'll crown tag team champions. We have officially booked 2 tag teams in a match where we think probably more than likely will be a 4 corners elimination tag team championship match. We'll announce some of the participants maybe later on this week, maybe early next week. But we have locked down 2. We are still on the hunt for 2. We had our eyes on 1. That kind of got kiboshed, and then we took one of those guys, and we're going to put him in another match. So there's a lot of cool shit happening. Stay tuned, but buy your tickets now. This place can sell out. In the beach, we always said, hey, just bring your beach chair and just post up wherever you got to go. This actually has seating, and this actually will and can sell out. So we are on our way there, and that's all I got to say about No Thanksgiving. All right, so that is our updates on Starland Ballroom. A lot of cool shit happening there. Go buy your ticket. Do not wait on this because I promise you will miss out. If you're trying to sit close, so if you want to sit in the back and you want to just mind your own business, you got some time. You know, we're still three months out, but
we're inside. We don't have to worry about the weather. Things can happen anywhere.
Yeah. Sure, fine. Okay. Anyway, so Raw happens, but before we get into Raw and some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, obviously something else significant happened over the weekend. I believe it was Sunday or Saturday, one of those 2 days. Certain contract ran out, and now there are 2 new free agents in the world of professional wrestling.
Don't buy it.
Or is there? Right?
Don't buy it.
Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, both listed now as free agents, taken off the main roster, put into the the Legends wing of the fucking alumni, whatever. So a lot of this is twofold because first, I'm a fan of his work, right? I'm a fan of Karrion Kross and Scarlett, 2 of the nicest people I've ever met. Traveled to Alaska together, you know what I mean? Like I know the guy, he knows me. I know Scarlett. These people are great, so I'm a fan first. But now we're on the side of promoting, right? So what do you do? Do you make the inquiry? Do you send that DM? Do you send the book? Both of them came out and they said, hey, listen, I'm we're available for bookings. Pro Wrestling Tees dropped 2 shirts already, so they're on the indie circuit now with the shirts. So what I think, and I'm going to kind of echo what Bully Ray has said. Bully Ray thinks that this is a temporary thing. Go out, do your thing, go make some money. We're going to bring you back. It's almost like a promised contract. Like, on this day, you're coming back. Take a couple appearances, sell your book, sell your merch. Don't wrestle because, God forbid, he gets hurt, then the whole thing gets kiboshed. But this is much different than the R-Truth stuff. Like, it's the same thing, but it's different. Why is it different?
I don't... And this is not my feeling, because, like you, I've always been a fan of Kross. R-Truth was that universally loved goofball.
Right.
But he's also been in the business for a really long,
like 25 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been with Kross, he was just starting to get that, right? Mm-hmm. Just starting to get that we want Kross stuff. And I mean, on social media, the guy, there's nobody better with the stuff that he puts out with his
shares
jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah, with his jiu-jitsu. I can't wait for the audio book to come out of his book version. I like to
the documentary Killer, the second part was phenomenal. Shout out to Tommy Vieira for getting some FaceTime in the Wrestling Collector store, which is dope. For him.
I wish I had a book and drove up there that night.
Yeah, you made a killing. A lot of people. But yeah, it's a weird feeling now because as a promoter, you're like, oh, can we get to this guy before GCW does? You know what I mean? Because GCW is just always in the bullpen, just all right, let's go.
They did tease R-Truth when he was released at first.
Fair. So again, I haven't seen anything from GCW. Brett Lauderdale's usually got the finger on the pulse of everything.
He's done the Bloodsport thing already. So technically,
so there is a relationship there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there was a rumor that he was about to do Bloodsport and SummerSlam in the same weekend. He was apparently going to do both. But for this one, I don't know.
Natty's making a killing doing it.
Who?
Natty.
Oh, I think she's
she reinvented. No,
she needs to get off TV as what she is right now.
I think she's completely reinvented her.
She needs to be the Natty from Bloodsport.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes.
Because if that Natty comes out and does work on a Raw or SmackDown, NXT, whatever, TNA, however you want to pitch this, that's some must-see TV right there. Because, again, the whole Natty from the good girl in the corner of Maxine Dupree the other night, you know what I mean? And so, that's cool. She's rooting around, but if Bloodsport Natty comes out of nowhere, out of left field, she will get the audience behind her 1,000%, including me, who has, again, I'm not no disrespect to Natty. I just never was a Natty fan. I know she's incredible and she's one of the best to ever do it, but I just never gripped onto the fanhood as a fan to be like, I got to see her. You spin it that way? Shit.
So I don't know whose idea it was to do that, if it was Brett Lauderdale or if it was Josh Barnett with Natty to come up with this character.
Who knows? But
this needs to stay.
Bravo. But back to Kross real quick. The feeling is right now, as a promoter, did I send a DM? Yeah, I did. I said, look, I don't know where this is going. I don't know what you're doing. But we'd love to have you if this is a real possibility. If this is a real possibility and you're out there doing the indies and you're wrestling, I would love nothing more than the Starland Ballroom be interrupted by Kross and Scarlett. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be fucking phenomenal. And if I'm ruining a surprise, I'm ruining a surprise because I don't know because he hasn't answered. You know what I mean? So now he's answered me before.
Right.
So for
he
him,
shared our stuff before.
So for him not to answer, you're almost just like, nod, nod, wink, wink. You know what I mean? Like, what do we... And listen, the day I see him on a poster for somebody's show is the day I really buy into the fact that he is now a free agent crushing the indies again. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to be back with the WWE. He was just on Ariel Helwani today. I'm going to watch that later on. He said that he had talks with Triple H back in January about a new contract, and then Triple H then it became not the point man for all this, which is weird. Like
Nick Khan?
I don't know, but he has a new point man to go to keep the lines of communication open. It's just so weird. They're getting way too business about this.
I have a funny feeling they're trying to see what the crowd and social media reaction is going to be towards it.
They didn't drop any Easter eggs on Monday. The only one I can say is the New Day. I don't know if you saw that promo in the back. There was a promo with the New Day and Austin Theory. Not Austin Theory. The other one. His fucking partner. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Speaking of Austin Theory, I think he's gone. But no, so there was some kind of backstage thing where something, and then out of nowhere, Xavier Woods was like, TikTok, man, TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, was using the verbiage, and people were like, up in arms, like, I can't believe you said that.
That's what I mean,
we'll
see. It could be.
But
it's like Jim Cornette always says, how could I miss you if you don't go away?
I watched Jim Cornette last night because I decided to dive into the Muhammad Hassan Dark Side of the Ring. Remember that fucking song? Oh, my God. But man, oh, man, how to ruin a guy 101. That dude was wanted. The head was wanted, literally wanted by some people out there. And, again, that's WWE taking it to the next level of shit. And back then, 03 WWE, it was rough times, man. It was rough, or 04, whenever that was, 04, 05. 9/11 was 3 years prior. It was still stuck in the minds of people, and things were on high alert.
It was just like when they had Sergeant Slaughter as the Iraqi sympathizer during the Gulf War.
Fucking terrible. Which turned out to be an awful feud with Hogan. So I watched Cornette. He was, of course, on every single Dark Side of the Ring.
They always interview, but a lot of those are canned because that man does not leave Kentucky. He is very content at his house.
You know who I didn't like to see?
Kentucky.
You know who looks worse than Vince? Dave Meltzer. That dude's a goober. He blocked me on Twitter, so go off.
I took that as a badge of courage when he did it. I'm like, thank God.
I don't think I've ever mentioned Meltzer's name.
So somebody told me that there's people like Meltzer and these other guys
just go on rage blocking sprees, like fuck them all.
Not even they'll look to see who's like talking about them.
Oh, you losers! What are you,
and then
Tony Khan?
Them.
Tony Khan don't block anybody, but Tony Khan definitely searches his own name. I know that for a fact. But again, Tony Khan's much more well off than Mr. Meltzer. But yeah, Meltzer was on.
Who knows what money Meltzer's made, honestly? Well, I'm sure his ex-wife took a decent amount of it.
Is he divorced?
Mm-hmm.
Surprised. Color me shocked that somebody wouldn't want to stick around with Dave Meltzer because he's out there giving out fucking every Young Bucks match 5 stars.
And that messy office. Yeah, and everybody keeps talking about that.
He has a man a filing cabinet.
He never gave Kurt Angle 1 5-star match in his entire career.
Meanwhile, 90% of his matches were 5-star or more or better. Anyway,
so back on Kross, I don't think. As much as I would love to see him walk through the Fight Factory curtain with Scarlett, I mean, I hope it's just a storyline.
I think he was doing his best work on television. This whole Sami Zayn thing, they really didn't like. It was all built backstage. No promos out in the ring, nothing like that. There was no promos outside of the backstage area, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, it was kind of cool that he got over doing that. He's like the devil on your shoulder guy, you know. And it's just like, and then I remember watching the match at SummerSlam because I was there. And I remember how it ended, and I was like, "Oh, haluva kick. He'll kick out, and this match will still go." And it was 3, and it was over. And I was like, "Wait!" And then no appearance on Monday. It's like, "Fuck, it's over." You know what I mean? Like, I've never been listen. I'll tell you straight up. If I don't like something on WWE television, I'm not afraid to say that. You know what I mean? But like, this one's a swing and a miss if they don't capitalize on this crowd movement. The guy shattered merch sales, you know what I mean? He had more merch than Cody, than Jay, than CM Punk, than Cena, all these guys. He racked it, and I was like, I don't. Where's not the appeal? He looks the part, strikes like a fucking savage, and you know he's got the total package of a wife and a manager, and his promo work is unmatched. He reminded me, if you really want to peel back the onion and be like all the just really dig deep. Mm-hmm. He reminded me of Bray.
Yeah.
You know, and like every time you see Bray, truth be told, every time Bray Wyatt spoke, I was zeroed in. I didn't say like, let's see what's TikTok over here. Like I was zeroed in. So every time Kross was on the TV, I was in. I was hooked. And I'm not somebody that like I'm easily hooked, I guess, to an extent. I get excited about certain things, a lot of things, but like it was captivating television every time he's on TV.
Well, they swung and missed with the faction that they were trying to go with. Mm-hmm. With I mean, I don't understand how the Ivar and Razor, whatever the hell their names are,
Toka and Razor,
yeah.
From the Ninja Turtles too.
Why they never really materialized into anything? Because I mean, they looked the part, right? They looked like two.
And you had Paul Ellering or whatever, and
and I just felt like he was out there just because he was Paul Ellering. Like with DX, when they were like, I don't even know why we had Rick in there. I guess just because we liked him, you come out with us,
right?
But I think they swung and missed with that because they didn't really give them any opportunities. Like just giving somebody a match. Okay, you're giving them an opportunity, but you're really not. There was no championship hunt for any of them, really. The match with Sami Zayn, okay, I guess you can call it a blow off, but just the way it ended was just kind of corny.
I would have much rather Sami Zayn used a lead pipe or something like that and use Karrion's thing against him and I am a liar, you're right, and all of a sudden Sami Zayn is your heel, right? You could have ran with this. You're at the goal line, man. All you had to do is hand it to your fullback, and bang, you're in the end zone.
Not like we haven't seen Sammy do heel as shit. He was part of the bloodline. They were heels,
bro. Before that, he was like a radical weirdo with all the fucking conspiracy
Johnny
theories.
Knoxville, yeah,
right, all that shit. So it's like, which wound up being a banger of a match, believe it or not, which is crazy to say that Johnny Knoxville put together anything good in pro wrestling, that is, but. Yeah, I mean, like it's a weird vibe not to have him around. I guess the only thing you could say is we'll see, right? Because that's it.
That was my first WrestlePro experience was when I took G for the first time when he wrestled LSG.
Kross.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Scarlett wrestled Melina.
Wow. Yes. Okay. And that's another thing. Untapped potential. Scarlett can wrestle. I know she's an absolutely gorgeous woman who will stand on your side and just be that presence, but she can go too. So that's another thing. People don't know or they've never seen it, but go check out some of the archive matches for WrestlePro and a couple of these other companies because I'm like, she can fucking go too.
Yep.
Better than half the fucking other indie girls that are out there. But
they were awesome people to meet for sure.
They were totally
the
cool.
Best.
Just a couple things from Raw. It looks like we're getting a fatal four-way for the championship, for the world title, which will be Seth, Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Remember, last time they were in Paris, that place was bonkers. I believe it was Cody and AJ Styles, where the crowd was just fucking ridiculous. So for this fatal four-way, with this kind of star power, I feel that it will deliver for the crowd part. Do you think any shot of a title change? No, right? Like I can't. It's too quick, right? He just cashed in, did his thing. You're not going to give it to Punk. You got to make that a long chase. Do they take the title off him?
It's been a decade-long chase.
I'm just saying, bro. It's just
No,
I can't see it. I can't see it. I like how they're incorporating LA Knight. I do because he deserves it.
know that Braun and
that's another thing. The tribal thief with the Shulafala, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker are not advertised to do anything right now. The main poster of Clash of Paris is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is advertised for the Raw before the Clash of Paris. My assumption is they're going to save Breaker and Reigns for something bigger.
Yeah, I think they're going to save them for that night.
Not one-on-one.
No.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to save Breaker and Reigns one-on-one for something else, for something down the road.
No. Those two, Braun and I don't know why.
Reed?
And Reed.
That's all.
They're not going to advertise them for anything because they're just going to show. They're going to cause ruckus in that match, obviously.
Well, no, not if you advertise Roman Reigns. Because I think Roman Reigns needs a match in Paris. So I think there's a tag team match set up where it's Reed and Breaker versus Roman and
Jimmy,
I guess. You want to maybe Jacob Fatu? I don't know. Like, you need some reinforcements. I don't know because you had the my family tree MFT show. I had to do the initials. They showed up on Raw, right? And they're beating up people, and then Jey Uso comes out, and there's all this other shit. But then they basically steer those guys away into their own match. So now, what do you got for those two? You would assume they have to deal with Reigns. That's just me. I have no idea.
I don't know because, like you said, it was never really addressed that Jey never came out to help Roman. So
very odd. And if that is some long-term storytelling that blows up just remember where you heard that shit because I did.
I hope it's long.
I did say I was like, where the fuck was Jey Uso?
I hope it's long-term storytelling because if not, again, then what was the point of it?
I have no idea. The only other thing that really jumped off at me was something that I didn't think was going to jump off at me. Did you see the Bayley promo?
No.
It's a pre-tape. It's a promo. She's backstage. She's like looking off camera. It's very serious, very dark. Kind of said she wants more without feeling anything right now. So she's getting all this darkness going on. I have one conclusion to draw from all this. Ever since she came back with a whole new persona, I never got into it. Never did.
No.
Right? Never could, never did. And it's no discredit to her. Again, one of the better ones on the roster. But if you really want to spark the crowd, bring back the hugger, man.
Yeah.
Bring back the hugger, bro. Like, let her find herself again and bring the wacky inflatable fucking whatever the fuck's. And they're
all right, Al Harrington, take it easy.
Exactly. So bring back those things and have her back as this cheerful. People will go bonkers for that shit.
But you can't bring Izzy back because she's a wrestler now.
Bring her in as a partner.
As a partner, not having her cry in the stands. That would
she's
be
now
hokey.
a fucking wrestler, dude.
Yeah.
She's literally wrestling on. I think she just wrestled Vicky, if I'm not mistaken.
She's everywhere.
She's doing her thing, which is really cool. But yeah, Bayley, the promo was serious. I think maybe we're getting steered into the wrong direction on purpose. I think there's a chance, maybe. I don't know. Listen, maybe that's just me as a fan
wishful
thinking
thinking.
Like that. Yeah, wishful thinking. I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I got today. It's one of those things where we're now slowly drifting into the final months of Cena. Mm-hmm. How many more matches? He's only got like 11 dates left, so you got to assume there's a couple more Raws and SmackDowns mixed in between.
They got to do something with The Rock. I want your soul. I want your soul. He's got his soul, but now there's no Rock.
Well, now he had mentioned him. I still think it's hilarious how they just completely spun this and said like, hey, listen, man, didn't work, bro. I love all you guys. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. That's how you know, like, I can't wait for like the next season of WWE Real or Unreal.
Unreal, yeah.
I need to know what the discussion was. We're like, when Triple H is probably in the board meeting, like, all right, we're just gonna bring back Rock, and they're like, dude, Hunter, he's not available. And you're like, what do you mean he's not available? He's like, he's not coming back for another couple months. All right, well, then we'll just get Travis Scott. Yeah, no, Travis Scott, not him either. He's on tour. He's like, all right, cool. So why the fuck did we do this? You know what I mean? Like, why did we turn him heel?
It almost feels that way because it's like there's so many unanswered questions. first of all, how they got to that point, right? I'm sure you could have came up with a story of how it got with The Rock and Cena, because remember that was one of the top feuds of the day because of the personal,
right, and promos on the wrist,
the personal pot shots that John Cena was taking, which you've heard Rock say in interviews, like, you got to be careful when you do some shit like that.
Yeah.
So how did we get to that point? Like you're saying, why aren't they spinning it as to why he changed? Like, all of a sudden he just changed. It's like, does he have multiple? Is he going to be multiple personalities, John Cena?
No. I think it's over. I tell you what, one of the big, like, you got the Rollins pop from SummerSlam, you got the Brock Lesnar pop from SummerSlam, both of them equally nuts. But you should have heard the crowd when the fucking Titantron lit up, where he came. It started all black and white. And then it flipped to the fucking red, white, and blue on the big thing. Everybody was like, oh, shit, he's really back. And then he was just really talking to Stu again and running down the thing. We just completely forgot about the TV that we wrote from Elimination Chamber all the way to SummerSlam. We said, you know what? This is not going to work. I'm done.
So again, this is why that heel turn was not even in the same...
Well, now it's not.
City.
Well, now it's not. Now you can't even. Now you officially can't even make the argument. You can make the argument of shock value, like the Hogan one. Oh, Hogan, blah, right? Kicking a dick by Cena. Holy fuck! But what they did after that, it's not close. Hollywood Hogan is that heel turn is the biggest thing you've ever seen. Yep. Now that they've dropped the ball with the Cena one, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, it literally is over, which is fucking mind numbing to me. How you just completely spin the. But that's wrestling. That's entertainment business, boys and girls.
The Stone Cold turn, where he was part of Vince's crew, was bigger than the Cena turn.
That lasted like 5 minutes.
But it had more of an impact than the Cena one.
Name that tag team. We've done this before.
Oh, with Triple H?
Yeah. The 2-man power trip. There it was. See, like, one of them had the Intercontinental title, one of them had the world title. They both had the tag title. They just literally took all the belts for like 3 months, and then they're like, yeah, we need Stone Cold back. Which, by the way, I'm rocking a brand new Stone Cold T-shirt.
Well, that's why when I saw the T-shirt, I'm like, even that had more of an impact than Cena turning.
I don't think the Disturbed remix got enough burn, to be honest with you. I think that was a really good remix of his song, but of course you can't duplicate the original Glass Shattering. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, WWE is all over the place. It's got me still watching, so it's not like it's like I'm not like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like,
they're going they're going to be going head to head on a Saturday with, I think it's like with All Out.
Why?
I don't know.
Not for nothing. And this is me, I guess, sticking up for AEW a little bit. But, like, AEW are the ones that were like, yeah, we're competition. Right, and everybody's just like, that's adorable, right? And nobody said a shit.
Oh, you guys beat NXT to where they had to move it to a different night. Okay, well, that was then. This is now.
But what I'm saying is, I say all that to say, like, NXT has their pay-per-views lined up throughout the course of the year. People already know when they're going to be, where they're going to be, and what night is whatever. For WWE to schedule something after knowing the all-out pay-per-view to try to go head-to-head. What's the point? You're just swinging your dick around
let the little tree get some light. You ever see it, Fred Claus?
Yeah, a long time.
This little tree's gonna get some light, Nick.
It just seems petty to me. WWE doesn't have to do this. Just let the little engine that could, known as AEW, fucking roll and do their thing. Like, they do have some of the better wrestlers in the world down there. So let them fuck. I can't tell you the last time I turned on a Dynamite. Unless I was being paid by Fight to do so, to cover it. But that's my thing. That's just I don't find the time. I can't watch wrestling 6 days a week. I'm not allowed in my house to do that. Plus, I got to watch the kids want to watch other shit, or dad wants to watch football. And I can tell you,
like, for me, yes, I know Will Ospreay is great, but his matches are all the same. It's the same.
He's hurt, right?
Huh?
He's hurt, right?
I don't know. It's the same choreographed shit.
Maybe.
It's the same choreographed match. You know what I mean? It's the same way I feel about the super kick. I can't stand seeing a million super kicks in a match either. When Jay and Jimmy do it constantly, it's like...
I wonder what Sean feels about this. Like, deep down inside. Like, of course he knows, like, it is what it is. We evolved at the times, but you won the title with a super
Wait, you ready for this? remember the shirt that I wore, right? The Shawn Michaels
Oh, yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
All right. This past weekend, we went back to the mall, the American Dream Mall.
Ninja kids are going to be there.
Yeah.
My daughter's very excited.
I had the shirt on again. I had more people stop me and ask about that shirt this past weekend than I did when we were there for SummerSlam.
So next time you do that, you take a couple flyers and you start giving shit out. Sell some tickets.
We didn't make some
All
flyers.
right, we'll get some flyers. We'll get some flyers for No Thanksgiving. Get your tickets right now. Do not wait. Head on over to StarlandBallroom.com. Get your tickets for the biggest event of the fall.
I'm happy that they're going the way they're going, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm happy
I mean, the
that they're
tickets are moving. And shout out to the team at Starland. They're promoting it. They're putting it in a newsletter. They're switching up their website. Like, everything's, we're all working together, huh? Fairy Hawks, take some fucking notes. But anyway, that'll be that. No hard feelings towards the Fairy Hawks. They paid us good. I love Ray. He's a good guy.
Yeah, we'll stop at Ray and the crew.
We'll stop at Ray at the crew. So for Dave Sturchio, Tommy Dee, and of course on assignment, Chris Payne and Tommy T, and the rest of us here at Fight Factory Wrestling.
Payne just texted me.
Did he?
Yeah, he's in a Florida jail. He punched Buzz Lightyear in the face.
But he did send new updated painted pictures of the tag team belts. Oh, baby.
Here I am trying to make a joke, and there it is.
Lots to talk about. Okay, there's a lot to talk about. A lot of things going on, so we're going to go. Here comes a paper toss, and that was already done. So we'll see you guys next time right here on the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast.